Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I am exhausted because I've been standing for like 7 hours for work. I don't understand how people do retail. But, anyways, mind me. I want to react to some juicy K pop opinions because I did ask some of my subscribers to send me some in response to my last week video, which was 2022 K pop opinions. I cannot hold back. Now, some opinions I got weren't necessarily for 2022 or some are just in general. So I'm not sure at this point if I want to mesh them all together, if I want to do split, but we'll just see. So yeah, I have no idea if I want to do just a video that's called reacting to your 2022 K-pop opinions or not, or just reacting to your K-pop opinions. I'm just tired. But anyways, I haven't read all of them, so it's just kind of more of a blind thing. I just skimmed through some of them, but anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Your ass is juicy. I said this one just to make sure my this form was working. But I think my ass is pretty juicy. Just saying, self-love is important. That's what BTS told me. Okay, this one sent me so many. Okay. Blackpink aren't the biggest girl group, they're just the most popular girl group. They don't have any outstanding skills if we exclude Lisa's dance. Well, I mean, I love Lisa, don't get me wrong, but like this girl doesn't have any complex dance moves. Like, how do you even know if she's like the best dancer in K-pop when all she's just doing is just swinging her arms? Like, I feel like for me to say this person is the best dancer in K-pop, I need to see more complex moves because if she could do a really complex move really well, then yeah, we can give her the crown. But yeah. Anyways, let me continue. Non-outstanding K-pop, non-outstanding personalities, and they don't have much impact on the industry. They aren't the first to do anything either. That's true. I mean, people act like Blackpink created the girl crush concept, but the person who literally popularized the concept was 2NE1. And I even be prior, there's a lot of K-pop groups who did do the girl crush concept, like 4 Minute and all. I think what really worked well with Blackpink, and this is just something I feel like something a lot of K-pop groups need to do, is that you don't need to make the best music to be the most successful K-pop group. What you need is you need to build loyalty with your fan base, and that's based on your concept. So I think about BTS, I feel like a large part of why armies are so driven to always support BTS no matter what, is also because BTS, the way they treat armies is like they're friends, they're like support groups. So the way that BTS always approach armies, like if you look at the fact that BTS were the first people to really actively use social media, they really trying to act like normal people who just really want to build a friendship with armies. They didn't act like K-pop idols who trying to act like, yeah, I'm a K-pop idol. Oh, I'm so tough. I'm a flower boy. Like rah rah rah. They acted like authentic human beings. Like they never acted like they were popular. They never acted like they were idols. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between me trying to treat someone as an equal versus me trying to act like a superior, right? So I feel like when you build loyalty with your fan base, that causes them to reciprocate. Like for example, because armies love BTS for helping them so much, they want to reciprocate that love back. But so I think with Blackpink, I think what really works well is that with the girl crush concept, you empower the audience. So that's how you build that connection, right? So in return, the audience really wants to give back and give you love. So that's why they kind of see them as a strong role model, so they want to give back. So that's why Blackpink has such a great, like, it's such a popular group. They're not the best group out there, of course. Like, they are lacking in many skills. I mean, come on, have you seen those concert clips? Like, a rookie girl group can literally make sure they're on synchronized. Like, come on. But anyways, it's just like they have a great concept, which is the girl crush concept, because like fans want to, because like they inspire them to be like strong women, fans want to reciprocate that love. So that's why Blackpink always goes viral no matter what. Also the starvation marketing tactic that YG does, where basically, you know, you starve your fans by not even giving them music for years. Once you release something, we all go excited and then we want to go back. Like, this is what the Desperation one, I think I talked about in one of my past videos. That causes one of the reasons why Blackpink always goes viral, even when they release very mediocre music. It's literally because they just have good marketing. Like, I'm not joking. Like, as long as you can build loyalty with your fan base, you can release the worst song ever, you can sing the alphabet backwards, but you will still have fans no matter what. So I agree with this. They're not the biggest girl group because they are lacking in many ways. I mean, like, even if you think about their songs, they're just using a formula all the time. They're just able to be popular because of the concept. The album Overborn Pink, I mean, I have Tally on repeat, but that's a hard one. I mean, I love the album because we got songs like Crazy Over You, You Never Know, but I think maybe I prefer Born Pink because I love songs like Tally, Happiest Girl, and also Hard to Love. Yes. At this point, people would hate Chungha's songs just because everyone else is doing it. She's doing great as a soloist. It's your taste on her. I haven't really kept up with Chungha since Bicycle. I mean, that song traumatized me. Like, oh my gosh, why did you rap? Like, it was the cringiest rap I ever heard in my life. Like, there was no beat, there was no flow. Okay, just because you rap super bass on Idol Room does not mean you are a rapper. Those are two different things, okay? But yeah, I haven't kept up with Chungha, so I have no idea. But I think Chungha is actually a really talented artist. I remember I was obsessed with, what was that? No be, I put you by, yeah, no more gotta go. I love Gotta Go. And Snapping. I feel like 2019 was Chungha's year, but I feel like she has slowly dipped. But yeah, overall, I haven't kept up with Chungha, but I always love Chungha. I think she's an absolutely amazing singer dancer. Like, she's a true all-rounder. I mean, minus those rapping skills, but she's someone who is truly solo material because she's such a great dancer and top-up vocalist. Taeyeon's vocals over IU. I mean, come on, SM creates beast idols. BTS didn't release a song that deserves a Grammy yet. Their English songs have almost no impact compared to Western artist songs that were competing with them. Sorry. I mean, I have been very, very vocal about how much I do not like BTS English songs. That was so funny. I was using to joke to people, be like, we're getting a divorce now, because like their English songs were the shit. Like, I'm sorry, like these were the most generic songs. Honestly, like, I do believe BTS deserves a Grammy because I absolutely love their catalog, from songs like Black Swan to Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Like, HYYH always has an imprint on me, but just in terms of their English songs, that's one of the reasons why I was glad that BTS never won a Grammy, because I don't want them to win for a song that I just truly felt like they put no effort in. Because if I think about songs like Butter, it's just, how I explain this, like, BTS have done a lot of fun songs. I love I Like It Part 2. That song is on repeat, has a chokehold on me. It was my #1 most played song last year. I'm pretty sure it's still in my top 5 because that song is just a classic. So I like their fun songs. Boys with Fun Fire. Come on, that is such a fire song. Get my joke there. I know Breezine is gonna die because I made a pun right now. But anyway, she's gonna hate me right now. But yeah, I just feel like quality-wise, just none of them really well done. Like, the reason why I fell in love with BTS is that they can gel vocals and rap super well with such an enticing and riveting beat. But a lot of their English songs just sound super generic. And yeah, if you compare it, like, I even think about, remember 2021 where everyone was like, the Grammys are rigged, and I was like, yeah, they are rigged. But when I look back at it, I'm like, okay, Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande, their vocals sent in that song. So I really don't think BTS really deserve a Grammy for releasing a Life of Pets soundtrack type of song. I think they really need to put more effort in their English songs, and I just don't think it's Grammy worthy. So yeah, I agree. I'm glad you're being honest. I mean, you are anonymous, but you know. ARMYs need to be real. They wanted to cancel Charlie Puth for that stupid little story, but as soon as he dropped a song with JK, they fell in love with him again. Like, LOL, are you the same people? Really? Also, ARMYs need to stop overreacting over BTS Enlistment. Yes, I mean, like, I think Everglow posted something about this on her YouTube, like her YouTube community post, but honestly, I see people wanting to boycott South Korea because they didn't give BTS, like, they didn't postpone or they didn't void BTS's enlistment. But personally for me, BTS has mentioned many times that they personally want to enlist in the army, and I rather do what the boys want to do. It would make them feel very proud as Koreans, so I don't see any problem with it. I mean, yeah, it would have been really, in my opinion, I think BTS should have been voided because they have done a lot in increasing Korea's impact across the world, like, culturally wise. But I don't think it's a big deal that the fact that they didn't get voided. They didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually kind of happy they're enlisting because I think that's something that they should do as Korean citizens because that's a very honorable thing. So yes, I agree. Oh, okay, about that Charlie Puth thing. I have no idea what that little stupid story is, but I feel like ARMYs tend to overreact over little gestures. But anyway, this I don't see what Joyce and Derulo did is bad. Industry collapse exists. The thing is that ARMYs need to open their eyes and see other industry. Not just because two artists collab that means they're besties and they owe each other something. Also, I need to accept the fact that more people will use BTS as long as they're keeping overhyping everything about BTS. Ooh, I like the last line. It's like, okay, like you overhype BTS to the point that you treat them as gods, but at the same time, you tend to like, you get mad when people use them. Like, you're kind of creating this problem. But yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, like, just because, like, it's a business, right? It's, along as in day, like, business collaboration is just business. You're not meant to be besties. Like, if you guys ever worked in a job before, you're not going to be best friends with every single person you do. I even think, like, whenever, like, when I worked at a business and they collab with another company, they're just doing it for, like, you know, like, good projects, good reputation. So I don't really necessarily think you had to be besties. With Jason Derulo, I mean, I do think it was a bit rude for him not to admit BTS and not, but I also understand that. I mean, he had a long day. I mean, when I'm drunk, I don't even like read my captions properly. So I think it's a little oopsies, but I hope he's more mindful in the future. Okay, now the last one from this person. I feel like people hold fourth gen to a very high standard compared to third generation. The only aspect that third gen surpasses fourth gen is rap aspect, and we still have some decent rappers in fourth gen. I mean, I have a love and hate relationship with fourth gen. I just don't like EDM, so I don't like the recent musical direction. But I feel like when people always like, I feel like there's a thing is where people are addicted to nostalgia, where the thing is they don't like what's going on in the present right now. So they act like what's going on in the past years were like the best years of their lives, even though I'm pretty sure that years have a lot of downs as well. So you can't always like you forget that there's a lot of negatives, but you, because you think about so much of the past, you glamorize it as a result. So it's not necessarily because past years were a lot better, it's because you only think about the positives of those past years. So you think the positives, that those past years were much better than the present, but it could be like the same thing happened. Like it's the same quality of life. Same thing with music these days. I'm pretty sure fourth gen has a lot of great music, but because people are keep on seeing the flaws, they keep on thinking that the past generations were good. But there was a lot of weird music back in the past too. Like I remember, I mean, people hated Wolf. I actually love Wolf by EXO, but that's an example of a crazy K-pop song that people hated. So I don't necessarily think, I do think people tend to over glamorize second gen and third gen music too much, but it could be the same quality. As for fourth gen, I think people do hold a lot of standards, because you have to keep in mind that that's just the current generation. You see what the past is, so you have a lot high expectation for it. I don't know. I mean, personally for me, I really don't like fourth gen music as much, because I'm just not a fan of like EDM, unless Monsta X is doing it, because Monsta X always makes good music. G.I.'s music keeps on getting worse. I heard people call Nude their best comeback, while I believe it was boring. I remember nothing but the song sonically. There's only so far a strong visual concept can take you. I don't think either of these last two title tracks will age well or will be remembered. Fun fact, I haven't watched Nude yet, so let me watch it first and I'll give my authentic opinion. Okay, hi, I'm back. Oh my god, so I listened to it and then I thought maybe I should watch some K-pop MVs. I watched some ateez, Monsta X. By the way, Monsta X Hero is so super fresh after like 7 years since its release. And then I started like texting people. One of them is K-Tuber Blossom Inc. and I completely forgot what I was supposed to do. Then I listened to Nude again and okay, I like the chorus. Like I like the instrumental one. It feels kind of charming because it's not those generic EDM choruses, and we also got more Shua vocally, but I actually really agree with this opinion in the sense that I feel like a lot of K-pop songs are very over glorified if it's creative, if it's deep, but at the same time, if the song is just very badly done and like sonically was not well done, then I don't think it deserves a praise. Because first and foremost, when we judge if a song is good, I think we should talk about the production, the vocals, how everything gels together. Then secondly, and then if it's like a very deep or meaningful song, I think it just entices it. It like leverages it up. But I don't think you should solely judge a song because it's visually appealing or it's very creative at all, because I don't think that's what music should be judged for. I think it should really be judged for the production value. So I do agree with this. I actually still like Tomboy. Okay, Soyeon's rap, like she should have been kicked out of the studio the minute she opened up that second rap part, but I still like Tomboy. I don't know, it's very addicting to me, but yes, I like this opinion. Okay, my second last one. Is it just me or the whole Koreans are uneducated and don't know any better, a bit microgressive? Like, I understand that it's a homogeneous and conservative country, and there's a lot that they're lacking. And I know that sometimes when idols do problematic things, it's genuine ignorance, but really, like, they know what racism is. Actually, many of them know about the N-word being offensive. I feel like now it should be common sense not to do blackface or brownface or make fun of our cultures. Plus, they do have the fastest internet, so certain things they can educate themselves of. Of course, I'm not expecting them to know about every single culture, like I'm expecting bare minimum at least. A lot of people infantilize their idols too much, and it feels like microaggression because Asian people are often stereotyped and portrayed a certain way, and makes it easy for people to infantilize them. Especially the whole situation with Sowon and the Nazi statue. Like, yeah, I agree. I don't think she supports Nazi. And it was just a careless mistake, but so many people were quick to jump with the whole, she's Korean, she doesn't know who the Nazis are. Like, come on, Korea was literally involved in World War II, and I'm pretty sure Japan allied with Germany or something. World War II is a huge part of Korean history, and you're telling me that Koreans don't know? Like, seriously, please. Yes, I mean, the whole like Koreans are uneducated and don't know better does hold some truth because it is a homogeneous country. They're not exposed to many cultures, so they don't understand like why like certain comments are offensive. I mean, my parents come from a homogeneous country too, Sri Lanka, and like I often have to tell them like, hey, like you shouldn't make like colors jokes or something. Like, oh, it's not good to say like this race acts like that because to them they just don't know better. But I do agree that I don't think Korean people are stupid because I think when you act like they don't know better, you're acting like they're totally naive and they don't know what the real world was like. Like, I believe there was this one time on Show Me the Money, a contestant literally said the N word and everyone was like so shocked. Like, what? You did not say that. And there was another time I remember, I think it was Lee Hai, like she was under YG, but then she left. She like literally sang along to the N word. Then she like all of a sudden like shuts her mouth, and then she's like, "Oh crap, I shouldn't say that." So I think actually they do know better. I feel like the more you speak about these issues, of course, but I also want to point out that just from my experience when I look up at like Korean articles, like I think I talked about my last video, like how a lot of Korean people didn't understand why Giselle belling the N word was offensive. They're like, oh, it's just a song until someone explains. So I do think there is some ignorance in the sense that it's not properly explained, but I do think that a lot of K-pop idols should definitely know better because the internet is a thing to them. Although at the same time, I think a lot of K-pop idols may be still a little ignorant because I do remember in K-pop you're not allowed to have a phone as a trainee. So I think they are a little bit unexposed to the real world. So it is possible that they have a lot of catching up to do with social issues. And yeah, I like that. I completely agree with the whole Someone thing. Like, come on, you cannot tell me that like she never heard what the Nazis are. Like, it's a big thing that happened in history. Like, I'm pretty sure she has some sort of idea. Of course, like I don't blame her for not knowing because even for myself, I couldn't recognize that that was a Nazi statue because for me, I can recognize as if a soldier is a Nazi soldier if they have that red swastika thing on the side, but for Swan, it didn't have that, so I of course didn't know. But I think it's kind of a bit dumb for people to say, oh, she doesn't know what the Nazis are because it is a big thing. I mean, like, this true, I definitely agree with it. I think there's a lot in infantilization where a lot of K-pop fans trying to defend idols by making them act like they completely are shut off to the real world and you don't know about anything when like the news does exist. Like, I particularly for me, I actually knew what blackface was because I was reading an article about I think Julianne Moore dressing up as one of the characters from Orange is the New Black, and she donned blackface, right? So that's where I learned about it. I never really learned about blackface in school. So I agree. I think it's a really stupid and also just really harmful to say that Koreans are shut off. I mean, of course, like we should keep in reminder that certain issues are not properly explained, but I don't think they're completely naive. I don't know if it's just me, but I noticed a lot of people like to hate on boy groups this year. Like, more than they typically do. I don't know if it's because people are not interested in boy groups anymore because of their taste in music, or because they like to jump on the bandwagon where they praise successful for girl groups and call boy groups as a whole flops for being. I find it hypocritical to be honest, especially if you generally don't know a handful of groups released. Personally, for me, this is the sad thing that happened, but I feel like feminism has been hijacked by edgy misandrists who think it's cool and cute to shit on men, but and honestly, it's just very stupid because okay, how are you going to achieve things like equality? This is just in general, like when I talk about like POC making fun of white people, right? How do you expect to like achieve equality if you're dividing us all together, like if you're making this like toxic space where you're like, yeah, I hate men, like blah 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 men, how do you expect men to support feminism, right? Like you're just kind of scaring them off for them to actually educate themselves. So I just think misandry is just really dumb and not cute, and just not cute at all. And yes, I mean, okay, I'll be really honest with you guys. I think, in my opinion, I really don't like most boy groups' music. I mean, I really like this one group. They released a song called Walking Over the Moon. I think it's Tempest. Let me look it up. Oh, it's 10 Walking on the Moon. I like that song. That was really good. I think the issue with a lot of boy group songs these days is I think they're focusing too much on EDM, and there's a huge takeaway where you sacrifice vocals, but I think that's in general with Fortune. Whereas I think a lot of, Fortune girl groups like New Jeans, for example, they really brought back like heavy melodies. Like I love Hype by so much, and even I really brought back the vocals with 11, etc. But I also don't think like you that means like you can listen to other boy group songs. Like I absolutely love Monsta X's Love. Like that song is so criminally underrated. But yes, I just overall, yeah, I do see so much people like crapping on boy groups and in the name of feminism, where it's just really misandry, because feminism was never really about hating on men. It was always about achieving equality. It's always about uniting men and women together. But misandry is the hatred of men. So it's just not really cute and all. And I also think people should give themselves a chance. Like for me, I used to say stuff like, oh yeah, boy groups are flopping this year. But I feel like the reason why we think like that is that the most popular boy groups, I mean, like, what I mean by, I think a lot of people always just think when they look at K-pop, they look at what the big companies are releasing. But a lot of new group boy groups are really excelling, and I think people should check them out. But yeah, that's the end of my video. I think my voice ran out. I'm so tired. Hopefully I finish this up by the weekend. But yeah, I really appreciate anyone who released, so what am I saying? I can't think. I'm really unthankful for anyone who gave me an opinion, because like I really appreciate this. This is actually a really fun thing to do. I actually really want to do more of this. Oh my god. But yeah, anyways, have an amazing day for you guys. I'm so tired from working, and yeah, I love you all back. Bye bye.